name is Epsilon, and welcome to another episode of Useless Cum Laude. And again, we're just a philosophy blog. So let's start off with the social contract. Firstly, I do want to make clear that the social contract is not a written document, unlike a nation's constitution or rule of law or policy. It is rather more of a collection of ideas that philosophers have expounded upon for hundreds of years, all starting during the Age of Enlightenment. And really what it comes down to is how best we can treat each other within any given social system. So in the state of nature, namely where we existed without any rules or laws or loyalties or trust, etc., we would take what we wanted: murder, rape, pillage, etc. It would be one giant free-for-all in a dog-eat-dog world, and at every turn, our safety would always be in question. So really what it comes down to in the state of nature is freedom versus safety. However, within the context of the social contract, we acknowledge our own rights and freedoms as well as the rights and freedoms of others. And it's thought that we forego some rights and freedoms for the benefit of all, namely to keep each other safe from harm and injustice that would otherwise exist within the state of nature. And it's at this point that rights are given and responsibility is assumed. An assumption of trust, honor, goodwill, selflessness, etc. And this is done to keep everyone simultaneously free and safe within any given social system. The social contract acts independently of any established form of government, meaning there are universal ways to treat people well, whether they be citizens of an anarchy, a democracy, a republic, monarchy, dictatorship, theocracy, communist system, socialist. No matter what established system there may be, there are always standards of morality that should be upheld. The rights and responsibilities of the people should not be ignored, ideally. And it is these types of ideas that a lot of these philosophers and political thinkers have expounded upon over the years. And I would like to touch upon and highlight some of what each have said concerning the social contract. Hugo Grotius, circa 1625, essentially asserted the importance of the rights of the individual, that morality was independent of any religious view, that we all have a right to self-preservation. Any infringement upon this right deserves punishment. And another prominent thinker would be Thomas Hobbes, circa 1651, who wrote The Leviathan, and he asserted that in the state of nature, man's life would be solitary, poor, nasty, brutish, and short. A sovereign people, under the rule of government, possess laws in order to keep everyone safe, and it moderates excessive freedoms. Another great thinker, Jean-Jacques, circa 1689, and he held that eventually people would come together to establish some form of government or authority that would be used to uphold the safety and security of all of the citizens due to a moral willingness. So it would all be voluntary. And there would be an authority that would keep our lives, liberties, possessions, etc. safe. And without this form of government, security and safety would not be guaranteed. And again, this form of government would be democratic, ideally. Jean-Jacques Rousseau, circa 1762, and he promoted a true democracy, a government ruled by the people, for the people. One must act selflessly for the common good and the general will, and that the individual is an indivisible part of society. That law is an expression of freedom and is a civilizing force, and that compassion is an integral part of any civilization. And Pierre-Joseph Proudhon, circa 1851, and he believed that the social contract acted as a restraint in forcing oneself upon others. It inhibited unwilling subjugation and governing, and it promoted the retaining of sovereignty over oneself via self-control and altruism. And ultimately, the social contract is an agreement with humanity. Social virtue, social responsibility, kindness, caring, acts of compassion. Let's do our best to treat each other well. To all you viewers, thanks for watching, and keep thinking.